podcast of sports with your host Jay Pops. Guys, today's date is November 2nd, 2021, which is officially the college football rankings show at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Please make sure that you guys do not miss that tonight. Also, it's Go Astros, baby. It is Go Astros. They also come on at 7 p.m., which is why I'm upset that the college football playoff rankings come on at 7 p.m. Cannot believe that. Hey, but without further ado, we'll make do for it, and it is what it is. So, Aggie Land, how you guys feeling, baby? We got Auburn. It's officially beat the heck out of Auburn week. We have Auburn this week coming to town. And from what I have seen, from what I have seen, they have done another camp out for the Auburn game. They've done this against Alabama, and now the student section has done a complete camp out against Auburn. I told you guys, baby, this is a big week. This is a make or break you month. This is the most critical month in college football, period. When it gets to December, that's the most critical month for the NFL, period. Now it's time for everything that I've been telling you guys to come into fruition. What do I mean by that? It's time to see who got the depth chart. I love this month. November is the month to remember. It's time for everybody around the world to see what football team has the depth chart to last throughout the entire season. It is time, baby. What's up, man? But it is time. Now we get to see who's the better teams, who's elite, who's good, and who's just, oh, they're very talented. That's it. So, hey, we got Auburn coming to town. I'm going to give you a little bit of things on that one. And hey, man, without further ado, let's jump off into some other things. Do you listen to TEXAS? Yes, I listen to TEXAS every day. Every day. And excuse me, guys, for when you guys be seeing me on this live, you know, it be looking like I'll be doing something else, but I'll be talking to you at the same time. That's because I'll be reading the comments. You know, the comments just pop up right up there. So I try to do my best to read those comments, and I try to respond to you guys adequately, okay? So please forgive me on that if you think I'm going off script sometimes, but I'm just reading the comments right there, man. And once again, everything has been possible for me and this YouTube off of my phone. I'm gonna say that once again, off of my phone. So as long as my phone keeps on producing, like the way it's producing, producing, I will continue to record this off of my phone, man. I'll just continue to upgrade. That's about it. Hell, it's free to upgrade the phone anyway. So I'll just continue to upgrade. So anywho, guys, enough of that rambling. Once again, this is a major weekend for Texas A&M, baby. Why? We haven't beat Auburn at home. We have not beaten Auburn at home, period, ever since we've been in the SEC. Now it is time. Once again, it's time for us to show the recruiting that Jimbo Fisher, Mike Elko, Daryl Dickey, Elijah Robinson, the running backs coach, in which I always forget that dude's name, Ted Price, our cornerbacks coach, Andrew Camardi, everybody with the recruiting operations. It's time for you guys to show who have you really recruited over the past years that can stand up to the November month. We're about to find out. Which brings me to this here. We're playing the 14th best talented team in the nation. Listen to me when I tell you guys about this talent situation. I always express this out, and I just want you guys to catch on and understand what I'll be talking about every time I talk about this stuff. All right, so once again, Texas A&M is the 8th best talented team in the nation. Auburn is the 14th best talented team in the nation. This is going to be a dogfight. This is going to be a slugfest. What I do want to say is this here. Who remembers when Auburn came to town in Jimbo Fisher's coaching career? Any hands on that? Who remembers that school? It was a what? 28-21 ball game with a late couple of scores, right? You remember that? Y'all remember that? Who remembers Auburn stretching out that lead in like 3 quarters all the way to 28-7, going into like the 4th quarter, I believe? Who remembers that? I do. You know what it's time for? It's time for Texas A&M to turn that whole thing around and repay Auburn from those years ago. All right? I've always remembered that, and I've always remembered Auburn coming in and doing what they got to do. The veteran defense is going to be what puts A&M over the top, and you are correct about that. That is why I'm going with the Aggies on this. All right. The reason why they're calling it an upset weekend, teams that could potentially be upset, which is A&M is one of them, is because A&M is the better team overall. You know, although we have 2 losses, A&M is still a better team overall. Nobody knew that Auburn was just only lose 1 game this season. Everybody thought Auburn had fell off the rails. Everybody thought Brian Harsin was going to take some time to get this team together. But what did I tell you guys when they played Ole Miss? The only thing that needed to show up versus Ole Miss in that game was Bo Nix being Bo Nix. That's it. Bo Nix came in, done some Bo Nix things. I know how this goes already. Bo Nix plays like that at home. He does that. I have no clue of why he just does that at home, but he does that at home. Once again, what I will not forget. Excuse me, coffee time. I drink coffee real late, y'all. What I will not forget is how Bo Nix and that Auburn team ran wild 2 years ago on us. I remember that like yesterday, man. They ran wild, completely wild, and our defense was sitting there like, wow. So I can tell you like this time around specifically, Auburn doesn't have the depth chart to go with us toe-to-toe like that. I'm going to say this once again, and you guys are going to come back to this video and you're going to be like, man, you right. You were so right about that. Auburn does not have the depth chart to go on a run with us like we can go on a run with them. Our rotation will be the key to this game defensively. Our defensive rotation will be the key to why we can win this game really, really big. My score prediction for this game, and you got to catch on to when I be saying 35 all the time. 35-14, Texas A&M. And that's big. They only have us at a 3-point favorite. But I'm going 35-14, Texas A&M. Why? Because in the back half of the season, this is what this team has been waiting on. We lost 2 games. We did not know we were going to lose those 2 games. Just so happened we lost those. Just so happened Arkansas is sitting where Arkansas is at right now, and they will continue to talk crap to us with, hell, they're trying to fight for bowl eligibility at this point. Once again, what did you guys see in that Ole Miss game? The depth chart, right? I cannot stress that out any more longer. You need a depth. You need a roster that is a compatible depth chart with other teams in the SEC when it gets up to late October going into November. What was our biggest problem with Kevin Summer? I just want someone to come and answer that. What was our biggest problem? We did not have a depth chart when it came to late October going into November. What was our biggest what was our biggest kryptonite? November. Why? Everybody kept getting hurt. Everybody got hurt. And when we looked for somebody to replace them, the talent just wasn't there. I'm sorry. The talent wasn't there. The physicality wasn't there. And that's just what it was. It's November now. This is what Jimbo Fisher knew. He sat up there and he analyzed what Alabama was doing, what LSU was doing, what Auburn was doing, what Georgia was doing, Florida, things like that. And he analyzed that stuff and he said, damn, they got a thicker depth. They have a thicker and better depth chart. We need some guys. We're going to go out and recruit. And when I say recruit, we're not just going to recruit anybody. We want top 10 classes. And that's what Jimbo Fisher has been bringing in. It's a guy on Twitter that I asked him. He was like, man, I'm just curious. What has Jimbo Fisher really did for you? Really did for Texas A&M? Well, for one thing, he's changed the whole culture around. That's for one. Second thing, he has put winning in these kids' head going forward. We gotta stop saying kids. He has put winning in these young men's head going forward. Third thing, he has put a better script of play calling into these into these young men foreseeable future. Last but not least, he has put a viable depth chart together for years on out. Not just right now, but for years on out. He has put a roster together to say, hey, Alabama, we're now able to compete with you. Hey, LSU, we're now able to take you down multiple times. Hey, Auburn, you've been getting us lately, but we're ready for you also. Hey, Ole Miss, well, you just don't have the roster to compete. That is what we're bringing out there to the field nowadays. We have a defensive roster out this world. And what are they doing for the 2022 class? They're building another defensive roster out this world. That is what you need, man. I told you guys. You can score all those points all you want to, but if you can't stop anybody, that doesn't mean nothing. That does not mean nothing, okay? So, once again, my score predictions, 35-14, Texas A&M. The game comes on at 2:30 p.m. The 2:30 p.m. slot has been a kryptonite and has been a thorn in Texas A&M side ever since they went to the SEC. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm pretty sure you guys have. 2:30 p.m. We have not been good in that slot, none whatsoever. And I'm going to say this once again: we have not been good in that 2:30 slot, none whatsoever. But they keep giving it to us because they know that eventually we're going to break the code. This year round, we break the code, okay? Hell, we just broke the code against Alabama. I told you guys when we won that game and they got their confidence back and I knew what I was looking at. They're not losing no more games going forward. I'm sorry, man. They're not losing no more games going forward. How many turnovers for Bo Nix? I'm not sure, but Bo Nix has not turned the ball over like that this year at all. He has seriously not turned it over. All right. I'm not sure about the turnover margin. I'll be bringing some other stuff later on throughout the week to let you guys know what's what with that and things like that nature. But this is just a video to just give a little bit of a breakdown of what we're going up against and stuff like that. So the reason why I say depth chart, and this is how A&M will have to pick their poison. A lot of people want to see Zach Calzada be the Zach Calzada that was in that Alabama game. Well, I'm going to tell you like this here. Please stand up. You will get your chance to see Zach Calzada like he was in the Alabama game. This is the reason why I'm going to tell you why right here. Passing defense, A&M, mark my words, is going to be able to tear that Auburn defense up. Reason why I say that is because Auburn does not have the cornerbacks. They do not have the DBs at all to continue to compete. Mark my words, it will be maybe about 1 or 2 defensive backs just getting hurt because of they've been long lasting throughout the entire season. They don't have a roster of defensive backs like A&M does. A&M has a monster roster of defensive backs, and that's why you have seen the passing unit not really give up that many big plays this year. They have a roster for it now. We had to wait a long time to get that roster like that. They have it now. Auburn Tigers only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 defensive backs. I'm going to say that once again. Auburn only has 9 defensive backs. If you spread those guys out, you have now taken away 5 of their defensive backs, in which they probably won't even have on the field at the moment. So then what you will be playing is their linebackers and potentially their defensive ends that's sitting back and going into zone coverage. Yes, Tyreek Chappell, yes. Tyreek Chappell will be a shutdown corner for years to come. Period. All right. But all of the guys that they have, so far as Auburn defensive backs, I'm looking at the years for these guys. 4 of these guys are seniors, okay? No, 1, 2, 3 of these guys are seniors. No, 4 of these guys are seniors, I'm sorry. 1 is a junior, 2 are sophomores, and then 2 more are freshmen. They're a young unit. You have to take advantage of that, and I know they will, but we will undoubtedly run the football. And we will run the football because of this here, once again. And man, look, you guys, and when we get up to the game, you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Defensive end. That's why everybody is so shocked that Auburn is 7-1 right now, because they just don't have the depth chart right now. I'm gonna give you guys a depth chart on the defensive end. Oh, and just so you guys know, for our defensive backs, we have a total of A&M has a total of, and I'm about to shock all you guys. I need all you guys to listen up. To the 8, to the 9, well, 8 then went up to 9 now. Please, excuse me. Please listen to what I'm saying right here. Texas A&M defensive backs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 defensive backs to Auburn's 9. Let that sink in. I just told you. What did I just tell you? You need a depth chart for the month of November. We have 23 defensive backs to Auburn's 9. We can play rotation all day long, and that's just what it is. We can just play rotational football. That is what you play nowadays because everybody wants to run a spread. Okay? So that's just what it is. Defensive lineman. This one I'm about to trip you guys out at once again. Defensive lineman and defensive ends, of course. So this is both of them put together. This is how many on the line of scrimmage Auburn has right now to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. About 16 defensive linemen. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes, about 16 defensive linemen. Texas A&M defensive linemen. And this is starting to be my favorite group of this defense going forward, period, man, because I know we're not going to stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 defensive linemen. To Auburn's 16. See, this is what I'm saying, man. That's why I say you guys got to listen to me. Y'all have to listen to me, man. This is going to be a strong rotation out of this world. The only thing where Auburn is really beating us at, and as well as a lot more other people, is in our linebacker unit. That is why we're shooting for Howard Perkins. That's why we're shooting for we already have I think one or two linebackers already in this 2022 cycle. But that's the reason why we're going out and getting linebackers. Because the linebackers that's on there now, they're not leaving. There's no linebacker on that depth chart for us that's leaving because they're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. Aaron Hansford, he's coming back for another year. I already know this, and I can feel it. He's coming back for another year, man, to get his draft stock up. And he needs to learn just a little bit more, okay? So, nobody isn't leaving from that linebacker unit. But I told you guys, man, the depth chart is where it counts at. You guys have to watch that depth chart. Also, offensive linemen, we got enough to rotate. Running back, I just believe that I don't need to talk about our running back room anymore. I just don't. I don't need to talk about our running back room, man, because we have so many of them. We got so many of them. Now, safeties, I'm sorry. What I didn't say is that Auburn has a lot of safeties, okay? So they count as defensive backs also. But for running backs, Auburn has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They got about 7 running backs. A&M has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 running backs and counting. We ain't done yet. We're not done yet. At all. We're not done yet. So as much as Bo Nix loves to run, mark my words, Bo Nix will not break containment this year. We have the defensive linemen and the linebackers to go out and get his behind this year. That's why I'm having A&M win 35-14. Because when you really shut down Bo Nix, you shut down that entire offense. Tank Bigsby is a good running back. I don't see Tank Bigsby having a field day on us. I do not. Also, this defense, once again, is top 30 in the country, man. They're top 30. I've seen this defense move from 50, 40, all the way to top 30. I'm going to say that once again. I seen that defense move from 50, 40, all the way to top 30 and counting. Because we will be top 25 when it's all said and done. I just hate that we gave up so much early in the season. But hey, man, it is what it is. Once again, November is the month to remember. Excuse me. What we have a strong advantage of. Excuse me, golly. What we have a strong advantage of over everybody. Yeah, they did. They did. They did beat Ole Miss with what you say, like 7 starters or something like that. Look, but who all thought that Ole Miss was going to be Auburn? Because I was one that did not think Ole Miss was going to be Auburn, and I knew they wasn't going to be Auburn. All right, like I told you, man. Look, Ole Miss just doesn't have the depth to go all the way into the November slate and then keep going. I'm sorry, man. That's me. I already know what I'm looking at with Ole Miss. And, man, Ole Miss is a very, very swaggy team. But Ole Miss goes as Matt Corral goes. That's just that. Ole Miss goes as Matt Corral goes. They got a good offense. But if their offense does not show up, their defense will not save them. I'm going to say that once again. Their defense will not save them. And we saw that in the last game. They were starting to fake injuries and stuff like that. A lot of people mad at me for saying that. But, man, y'all know that's true. They started fake injuries and all kind of stuff. So, anywho, let's keep going here. But once again, man, Bo Nix would not be able to run like that. I don't believe. Okay. Also, we have the wide receivers. We do honestly have the wide receivers. I know we haven't seen a lot out of them, but we're now starting to see a nice Smith feel it. We're now starting to see Jalen Watermeyer feel it. I believe Demus will have a big catch in this game, and I believe Moose Muhammad will sneak in there somewhere. I'm telling you now, man. Moose Muhammad was sneaking there somewhere. And Caleb Chapman. Caleb Chapman will probably be the difference maker in this game as opposed to picking up 20 to 30-yard gains. Just out the blue. Just nobody's even covering him type of deal. He just picked up 20, 30 yards. Mark my words on that. All right. So, anywho, man, let's keep on going. I just wanted to give you a little bit of perspective about that one. I believe the defense will get necessary stops. Yes, but A&M offense, I know a lot of you guys kind of still don't believe in that offense, but as long as we have A-Chain and Isaiah Spiller back there running the football, and with this offensive line being dominant as the way that they've been lately, it's nobody that's going to touch Zach Kelzal. I'm sorry. It's nobody that's going to touch him, man. Nobody at all. Establish the run game early. To be, yep, and I believe they will. They will establish that run game very, very early, and they will dominate the football game going forward. That's me. That's my honest opinion. I believe in that, and I'm not going to shy away from that, okay? All right, so anywho, guys, let's keep on going here. So let's talk about some other things, man. And I'm not going to be real long on this because, hell, when the rankings come out, the rankings just come out. I'm very, very excited about these playoff rankings because of the simple fact is that it's not going to be the same teams that it has been year in and year out. They win this game. I truly believe they win out. Yeah, honestly believe it. Look, let me say this. It is make or break you weekend for both teams going into this football game. This will be the deciding factor for the SEC race, for the SEC West race in general, period. Even with Alabama winning their games like that, this will be the deciding factor for the SEC West race. Auburn is already in it. They're neck and neck with Alabama. Texas A&M is in it. They're neck and neck with Auburn in Alabama. Mississippi State is up there. But before you know it, Mississippi State is going to kind of fall back down. But they will be a bowl eligible team. All right, but Auburn, Texas A&M, Alabama. To be honest with you, I told y'all I see one more loss in Alabama, and it's not in the SEC title game. I don't know why you guys keep on saying that they're going to go to the SEC title game. I see one more loss. If Bo Nix shows up and beat Bo Nix that we seen against Ole Miss at home, give me Auburn all day long. I'm sorry, man. Give me Auburn all day long. And I'm not going to say it's not even close because then I'll be lying to you on that one, but give me Auburn. I mean, man, that's just me. Give me Auburn at home. It's something about Jordan Hare Stadium, to where I don't know if it's because of how the way it's made or what, but Bo Nix puts on a show at Auburn Stadium, win or lose. I can honestly say that about that young man. He puts on a show, win or lose, at Auburn Stadium, and that is his sanctuary. So I don't see Nick Saban going in there getting a win for, I don't know, man, he has not won down there. He has not won at Jordan Hare like that. That is crazy to say with Nick Saban. When Nick Saban has to go and play Auburn, he does not win down there lightly, man. If he's going to win, I promise you, he's going to have to do some crazy things to win. But I see Auburn beating Alabama this year at Jordan Hare. I told you there's one more loss on it, and I meant that. I meant what I said. When A&M beats Auburn this week, because I'm already putting the win on there, A&M wins out. Period. They win against Ole Miss, and I told you guys this once before. They win against Ole Miss. Ole Miss does not scare me at all. I have no clue what everybody else seen in that team, but Ole Miss does not scare me, man. They do not. Beat the heck out of them and give them. Yep, 10-2. I've already said they'll go 10-2. 11-2, you know, counting the bowl game. But I'm going to say this here. A&M wins out. LSU is not a threat anymore. And that's crazy for me to say that LSU is not a threat when I've seen LSU handle people for years, man. I'm talking about years I've seen them handle folks, man. And they are really not a good football team anymore. They are not. They've lost their coach, we all know that, but they wasn't a good football team before they even lost the coach. And I don't even much know if they're going to make it to a bowl game this year. I honestly don't think they are. And that is crazy, crazy, crazy. And we're about to see LSU go back into the days of before when Nick Saban arrived. That is freaking crazy, man. But I see A&M winning out. I see Auburn beating Alabama. And when Auburn beats Alabama, this will be the first time that A&M has won the SEC West title. And they will go on and face Georgia. I said that we was going to win the West anyways. I said that we were going to win the West. I stick by that because I seen something in them. I seen the difference between years ago to now. And I stand on that. I stand alone on that. Now, if Alabama wins, then hey, man, it is what it is. But I stand alone on what I said, man. And if they went out, man, I need you guys to come back to this video. People that's not subscribed, and I need you guys to hit that subscribe button immediately. So, once again, we're going to keep on going here. The playoff rankings. How confident are you guys about the playoff rankings? Who do you guys would think would be 1, 2, 3, you know, all the way through 11? And the reason why I say 11 is because I'm about to break down my 1 through 11, and I'm going to explain every team while I'm breaking it down 1 through 11. Number 1 is Georgia. It's really no explaining right there. Georgia by far is living up to their talent composite rating, okay? They are extremely living up to it. They are the number 2 most talented team, and they're showing you that. They are showing you that. The problem is that Georgia plays in the SEC East. I have yet to see anybody threaten Georgia in the SEC East ever since they have mopped up talent 1 through 3 in the so far as the rankings are concerned. Ever since they've been 1 through 3 in the recruiting rankings, it's nobody in the East that can compete with them, and that is completely unfair to the East. And that is completely unfair to the East because there's nobody that even much recruits in the top 10 in the SEC East. And that is crazy to me, man. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. It's nobody that recruits in the top 10 in the SEC East but Georgia. Year in and year out. You know why? Because Georgia takes football seriously. They take football seriously, man. Yo, Matt Corral doesn't seem healthy. And he's not because he's been having to carry the whole team all throughout the season. But they do not, man. And that's why I have them at number 1. And I'm not taking them out as a number 1. And that's just that, man. I'm gonna stand on that. Georgia's number 1. There's no reason to talk about them anymore. Their defense is an NFL style defense. I said that time and time again until I heard other professional guys that's even on the NFL level say that, like, man, they have an NFL defense. And they honestly do. I'm sorry. A lot of people can doubt that. They got an NFL style defense, and I know that. It's just a shame that they're putting it on the college level because those college young men, they haven't seen that yet. So, anywho, let's keep on going here. Number 2 is Oklahoma. I know I pissed a lot of people off when I said Oklahoma like that. Yeah, this November is especially, man. Yes, people do not know how crucial November is. I told you, man, November is really, really crucial in college football. That is a make or break you month. Either your team is good or your team was very average, and you knew that, but your team was covering up the average spot. All right, so we will find out who will go 7-5. All right, and I'm gonna say that once again. We will find out who will go 7-5, and we will find out who will go 9-4 or 9-3 throughout the stretch. Dan Mullen, I'm talking to you because Florida is about to go. Florida is about to go 8-4 again, and that's a bad 8-4. That is not a good 8-4. That's a bad 8-4. I cannot believe what I'm saying here. Anywho, number 2 is Oklahoma. I know a lot of people is pissed off because I put Oklahoma at number 2. The reason why I put Oklahoma at number 2 is because although Oklahoma has been quite shitty, excuse my language, there is still the payback time for the. Yeah, it is, man, payback time. Although Oklahoma has been, the S word, Oklahoma is still a very, very talented team, man. They're very, very talented. They are the 6th best talented team in the country. Seriously, man, they're the 6th best talented team in the country. And if they would have been playing like the 6th best talented team in the country to start off the season, we wouldn't even much be having this conversation. And I'm going to be dead honest with you. But now they're starting to play like it just a little bit. All due respect to Kansas, but now they're starting to play like it just a little bit, but they have the talent. And they're undefeated. All right, so that's the only reason why I have Oklahoma at number 2, and they haven't been undefeated since 2003, which is crazy as hell to me because I've seen a lot of good Oklahoma teams. Not did not know that they hadn't went 8-0 since 2003, man. And I think that was the last time where they won the national title, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. But anywho, they're undefeated right there. So that's the only reason why I have them at number 2. Anywho, going forward. So, number 3 team. The number 3 team, man, this is really a toss-up between this team and the number 4 team. It could go either way. Michigan State. I like what I'm seeing from Michigan State. I like what I'm seeing from Mel Tucker. Kenneth Walker, I already told y'all, man, he has my Heisman vote. As long as Kenneth Walker is healthy and Peyton Thorne can be a game manager, look, man, Jalen Reed, good God Almighty, man, that little youngster has been good since last year. And he ain't slowing down. He ain't slowing down at all. But as long as Kenneth Walker can stay healthy and the Michigan State defense can show up when it needs to, they're going to be at number 3 until, otherwise. We're going to let November play itself out, and eventually they are going to lose. I know that. Eventually they're going to lose one or 2 games. But we'll see, Number 4 is Cincinnati. A lot of you guys are mad at me for putting Cincinnati at number 4. Reason why I got Cincinnati at number 4 is because it's dating back to last year in that bowl game when they played against Georgia, man. Although they didn't win that game against Georgia, they were very, very competitive. And I understand Georgia only played like their backup unit, but JT Daniels was starting in that game as well as other starters in that game that were like 5-star recruits. They battle tested them, and they went into this season and just so happened, man, they're undefeated right now. They own the AAC at the moment until they meet up with SMU and possibly Houston. I told you guys, November will be the month that defines everything. They have to show us what they have in November. All right, if they can just win out, then they will undoubtedly be in the college football playoffs. Only because of the style of play that they are. They're a very, very physical team that's in the Power 5. That's in the Group of 5. They aren't finessed by all means. They're just very, very physical. That's why I have them at number 4. All right. Regardless of their strength of schedule, because their strength of schedule isn't worth the crap. All right. Number 5 is Alabama. I got Alabama at number 5 because ever since they've lost to Texas A&M, I've been watching it. Everybody else been watching it. They have just been a different team. That game against Tennessee, though, man, this is the only reason why I don't have them in the top 4. That game against Tennessee, understand that I picked them to lose that game against Tennessee. And hell, they was almost on the bricks of losing that. I said it, and I'm going to say it once again. That defense ain't good, man. They have cracks in that team that's starting to get exposed and wide open, man. They have cracks in that team. Somebody is going to catch them slipping once again. And I got Auburn catching them. regardless to, you know, the outcome of the A&M game, in which I predicted Auburn to lose. But regardless to when they lose against A&M, I have Auburn beating Alabama, dog. I have them beating them because they have cracks in that team that is way too big to cover up. And it is going into November. They have the depth chart, but their depth chart is so freaking young that it's a shame. All right, so I got Alabama at number 5. Number 6 is the Oregon Ducks. And 6 and 7 is a toss-up, but I'm giving Oregon that benefit of the doubt, although they lost to a ridiculous Stanford team. I'm just giving Oregon the benefit of the doubt. I seen them blow out Colorado. That is the Oregon team that I was looking for because of their talent composite. I always talk about talent, man. Y'all gonna continue to hear me talk about that because that's depth. They have depth. Now we see the depth actually paying off. We see the recruiting actually paying off for Mario Cristobal. They just have to continue to win games because they're going to win the Pac-12. That's just that. They're going to win the Pac-12, and ain't no doubt about it. And hey, man, everybody can say what they want to say, but if they win the Pac-12, I possibly got them in the playoffs, man. I'm sorry. That's just me. If they went out, you know, win the Pac-12 because they already beat Ohio State, and which is number 7 for me. Ohio State is number 7. Once again, Ohio State is very, very freaking talented offensively, man. They just haven't shown me nothing defensively. Defense. Gosh, man, I don't know what's up with that team defensively, man. And I don't know if it's because they just feel like they can throw on Ohio State gear, that everybody's going to walk into the stadium and be scared of them. But those days are over. Those days are seriously over. Nobody takes you seriously defensively. They don't. Not if you guys are going to continue to give up 20, 30-yard plays like that, man. They let Penn State, which is a god-awful offense. That offense, Penn State, is horrible. They let them score 24 on them. And only won the game by 9 points. But they're going to always have this excuse. Oh, well, Penn State always plays good. Man, come on, man. Stop that nonsense. Penn State is mediocre this year. They're very, very mediocre. Penn State doesn't have talent like you guys have. Penn State is not a top 15 talented team. I'm sorry to tell you that, but they're not a top 15 talented team. That's the reason why Auburn, Auburn had lost, but it was 16 against like 14 best talent. Penn State is 16th talent-wise to your number 3 talent-wise, man. Come on, man. Now be for real about that. You can't beat them only by 9 points. You should beat them more than that. Anywho, we're going to keep on going. Number 8. A lot of you guys probably ain't going to like this. Number 8, I got Wake Forest. I got Wake Forest at number 8. That team is scoring a lot of points, but that's all that they can do because they don't have a defense. They don't have a defense at all. That's why I have them at number 8. I don't take their defense serious once again. And I just don't know who's in the ACC that's going to beat them. I honestly don't, because it ain't going to be Pittsburgh. That's the reason why I don't take Pittsburgh serious, none whatsoever, ever. But we're going to keep on going. Number 8 is Wake Forest. Excuse me. Number 9 is Michigan. Michigan played a hell of a game against Michigan State. They just weren't able to pull that out. I guarantee you if Michigan would have beat Michigan State, I would have had them as the number 3 team. All right, I would have had them as the number 3 team right now. But I'm going to tell you like this, man. I hear people say all the time, oh, Michigan reminds me of Texas. I would take Michigan over Texas any day to reach a college football playoff berth and to win a national title when it's all said and done. Only thing Michigan is missing is the quarterback. in a couple of defensive pieces. That is all that they're missing. They're missing a quarterback. I'm sorry, quarterback and receivers. They need some receivers, and they need just one quarterback to come in there to solidify everything for them. And you can see Jim Harbaugh getting the first ever playoff berth. That's why I have them getting into a college football playoff berth over Texas any day. You know, so, and it's only because Michigan doesn't have to deal with politics. You know, that's just Texas with that BS. But anyway, we're going to keep on going here. Number 10 is Auburn. I have them at number 10 because they got to Ole Miss first. That's the only reason why I have them at number 10. They only lost one game. You know, so I have them at number 10, and they beat Ole Miss. They really, really beat Ole Miss. All right, so number 11, drum roll, Texas A&M Aggies. I have us at number 11. Only because, hey, man, we were on a bye week, so here we weren't able to play no games. So this is the game that's going to decide the fate right here. Like I say, man, you just have to let November play out. When they meet up with Auburn, these guys should be 10 and 11. I'm telling you right now, it should be 10 and 11. You can't flip-flop. Auburn deserves to go in front and them in the back because they have those two losses. They deserve to be right there, Auburn right here. This will define both teams. All right, so we just have to let November play out. Other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on up out of here. Let's wrap it up. It's been pretty long. But I'm going to leave out with saying this here. Alabama, Oklahoma, and Ohio State will always get. They used to, but I think this year is different. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that it's going to be different this year. But I'm going to leave out saying this here. Be looking out for Chris Marshall's commitment on November 7th. You have to go back to when Bobby Taylor also told you guys that November 6th, save that date. He said that for a reason. Save that date. A&M wins this game, you're going to see a fire blast off from recruiting. You're going to see commits everywhere. I'm telling you, man. Oh, and it's also going to be commits all at this game. Evan Stewart will be taking another trip back to Aggieland this week, I believe. I believe he's told some people, but then again, I've heard some people say that he'll say one thing and it'll be like another. So, I mean, hey, man, it is what it is. But Evan Stewart should be at this game. The 5-star 2023 running back, I think it's Reuben Owens. I believe that's his name. No. Is that him? No. I think it's Reuben Owens from El Campo, Texas, 2023 running back, 5-star. He will be in attendance. Chris Marshall should be in attendance. I believe, I'm not sure if Harold Perkins will be there. Bryce Anderson, safety, will be in attendance. Man, it's going to be a lot of people at that game. Bobby Taylor will be back down there once again. So, man, just be looking for a lot of things going on. But November 7th, save the date for Chris Marshall. As of right now, he is crystal ball to Texas A&M. He has been crystal ball to Texas A&M for a very long time. His top three is USC, Texas A&M, and Alabama. I see Texas A&M landing him. Handling. All right, so be looking out for that commitment. And I'm gonna say this too. I possibly see Evan Stewart because as of right now, I think Florida's fell off the cliff. So Texas and Texas A&M should be a battle for Evan Stewart. I see Evan Stewart committing to the A&M as well. This will be like, hey, man, you guys were looking for playmakers. I believe that both of those guys will commit. All right, so just be on the lookout for that. Like I say, November 7th for Chris Marshall. Be looking for something on November 6th. I thank all of you guys for tuning in for the live. Hopefully we can continue to make this thing grow, get the numbers way up there. But as of for right now, I love all of you guys. #GeekMags.